I hit my button.
So what are we doing? I pushed the button, by the way. We're live. Yo! Okay, anyways.
Yeah, I could tell. I forgot to mute the tab, so I suddenly heard your voice delayed from another source, and it's like, oh wait, that's not muted yet.
Amazing. That's the best way to experience it, to be honest.
So who's going to do the recap today? Was it you, Buck? Who remembers everything?
I think it was definitely Buck. Yeah, I think Buck agreed to do it, right? We all agreed that Buck would do it? Yeah, cool.
How dare you all?
Buck is our hero. Gonna recap it till it is down to 0.
Oh, just to do a check, can one of you go outside and tell me if, and see if, like, everyone has vision on it? I've been messing with things.
Once
It's still paused, so we can't move.
Oh, oops.
Now it's pretty dark out and cloudy, too.
They are gone. Oh no!
Oh no, not like that. Not that outside.
No, I cannot see. I cannot see inside the room.
Deselect yourself.
Hello? Is there anyone out there?
How do you deselect yourself?
I just drag without selecting anything.
Oh, hey, that did work.
It works.
Okay, yeah, that worked.
Hooray! We've solved the problem!
And then the
Kinda.
second that I select my character again, everything disappears.
Yep, that's intentional. That's so that way you can tell what
Yeah,
you can actually see and aim at.
That's... okay. That's a choice. I probably would have gone with shaded out, like darkness, but I can still see whatever. You know what? They didn't. So whatever.
It's not,
At least
it's
there's
not an
something.
option. It's not an
At
option,
least-
unfortunately. Yeah.
So we killed a bunch of cultists, except for one who's cool, and except for two who
Okay.
are cool.
I mean, were we really wanting me to do the recap?
Yes, yes, desperately.
Okay. So last time on whatever this is, we encountered a cultist who is very bad at spying, was caught immediately, and we followed him back to the other cultists, where we proceeded to fail to bring down the building and instead Kool-Aid Man through one of the walls, have a conversation that, as typical, led to pacifist Goroth immediately starting a fight, which also included people being sent through the roof and the walls, and a cult leader who actually wasn't here. He was an illusion. So basically, big fight with a bunch of people being thrown around, Vivian setting a fire and burning people intentionally.
It's not my fault they were flammable.
The fire's still going on, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I hoped.
You said a profane fire, to be fair.
The spy, by the time he returned, and 2 archers fled for dear life, and who could blame them? Because their immediate reaction is, everyone here is being killed. Okay, we'll go outside. Goes outside to find Egg, dealing with everyone outside. It's like, on second thought, no. And then just left. And now currently we have 2 survivors. One who is insane, and the other who is just terrified.
We've convinced the insane one to hopefully only murder cultists.
Yeah.
Only hurt
But probably not.
And I
You can't
flat
hurt
out
people who
said
aren't
last...
cultists because they can help you find ones that are, and those are the ones you can hurt.
And I flat out said last time that when we get back to town, I'm telling the bandits and Skern if they see that guy, kill him on sight.
What?
I don't trust that he's not going to hurt the people in the town.
I trust him. He seems like a nice guy.
How could you not trust him? How could you not trust that face?
Exactly.
And now you're dealing with Nemel, who is undressed except for their underwear, and is currently using their robes as sort of a towel-like thing.
Also, I like how I look over to the chat and immediately just see Jade. In my defense, LOL Lamau.
Send help. Slime surrounded.
Receive head pat.
Yeah, I had that.
So now the scene is you have a nice warm profane fire in the distance, or right next to you, burning the floorboards right now. An active ritual that is going on right now without any ritual casters, with the dark crystals on the ground and salt layers, and piles of bodies just casually resting around. What do you guys do?
I mean, I do have a question.
Yes.
I have a question of object interaction, because I don't know how these two things work in the system or in the world. What is the object interaction between hot dogs and profane fire?
It would cook them, but
Okay.
I don't know if you want to eat said hot dogs.
Well, that's what I'm
Might be
asking. That's
fine.
what I'm trying to learn. You know.
It might be fine.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, I have learned from Dungeon Crawl that you always eat the purples.
Extreme wisdom.
It might make you stronger, or just kill you.
But it might make you stronger.
But it might make you stronger.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like exercise.
Yeah, but it might kill you.
It sure don't feel good, and it might kill you, but it makes you stronger.
So eating hot dogs is exercise. Got it.
It wouldn't cook over a
Yay.
profane fire.
No, I think Saul had it right the first time.
All right. So what are the stones over here?
They are crystals. It's very similar to the ones you have, except for they seem to absorb the light around them ever so slightly.
What happens if I touch the two crystals together?
I don't know.
So this ritual seems to be still going on.
Well, it seems like someone started it, and it's still actively like going
Doing.
on. It's doing something, but at the same time, it's like it's missing components. It seems to be in the process of something.
Oh,
But
bro
it-
hasn't run up. Sorry.
But it seems to be actively in the process of something, but it is not continuing because it's not being actively like channeled right now.
So
Because
crazy
the
bro
people
ran
who are
off, but
channeling it are dead.
is other bro still here?
Yes, they are with you. Nemel is here.
Cool. So what's this thing do?
I don't know. I think they're trying to summon something with it.
Oh,
Well,
I'd stop it if I were you. I every time they summon something, it's always nasty.
I have a different idea.
can I sketch it down in my notebook?
Yeah, you can.
Go ahead, Egg.
While you do that, I replace the dark crystals with the positive crystals.
Are you trying to touch these crystals?
Yes.
If the DM says that.
Okay. Roll for it. Is fort
You-
safe? Yeah.
No, you make
Roll
you
con?
roll for it. You can they can roll con or strength. You roll against fort. Fort is
I
only a
roll
defense
against
in fourth
fort.
edition.
Right. Okay.
There's no
17
fort
is mine.
save. There is a defense against fort, which is why I like it. Honestly, I think it's a better way of doing things.
Okay. I'll roll the.
Oh, that beats me by 1.
Rip.
You
Sorry, guys, I'm dead.
lose- You lose 2 health. And 2 con.
Ow.
I don't know how con damage works in this system.
I mean, it doesn't.
Oh, is there no con damage in this game?
There's no stat. I mean, actually there. I know that it's generally frowned upon to use because it's just bookkeeping without any real value. Weakened is usually what's taken. It takes its place.
Okay. Then you're weakened until you long rest.
All right.
But you are able to lift the crystal off the ground. You will continue to take damage every so often, as long as you're holding this crystal.
I'm mainly just taking them out of the circle, setting them aside, and replacing them with the positive ones.
Okay. Oh boy, that is a lot of damage potentially. You're doing that to all 5 of the crystals then.
Yep.
Okay.
It's only a little pain. I could work through it.
I mean, ooh,
The 22 is the only one that succeeds.
You take additional 4 damage, and as you are putting the crystals down, I really hope you're fast at sketching, because the salt seems to shift and churn as you move the dark crystals around and replace them with the light crystals. And as
Sorry.
you replace them, certain runes start to glow, others fade away, and as you place the 5th crystal, it seems to completely disable the ritual. So whatever was going on is now disrupted.
I'm pretty good at sketching quickly.
Yeah, I'd say you were able to sketch the summoning circle.
Oh, I was hoping it would summon the good friend.
Yeah, we can try it later. I got the notes. Can you put one of those in your bag so that, we have it? I don't know. Seems like it might be handy. Like, without touching it.
I pick one up and put it in my
It's the
bag
one we do not like.
very quickly, but wait,
You
no, no,
touched
no,
it
no, I
again.
do not. For one reason of my bag is full of the positive ones. I would be willing to pick them up, but then I think, wait, no. Let's not put the matter and the antimatter together.
Okay. I'll get it. I put it in my bag. In like a small pouch, I should say, not like in my main bag. By putting the bag over my hand, grabbing one of the crystals and wrapping it that way. I never actually come into contact with it. Unlike
Well,
someone.
congratulations. It actually does not hurt you when you touched it.
Hooray!
And it now is sitting in your bag compartment. Just remember which one that it is.
Egg looks at you and grins. Oh, that is why you are a wizard person. That was a good idea.
I'm not a you know what? Yes, absolutely.
Magic person.
Speaking of magic person, how are you feeling over there?
I'm okay. A little cold. It's a little chilly. I'd like to get some clothes on.
You can warm yourself by the fire.
They look at the fire. That's okay. That is quite all right.
You like this hot dog?
The fire starts burning a hue of purple, sparks of profane energy sputters out of it.
Goroth would reach into his bag and pulls out some camouflaged clothing and holds them out to the now former cultists. It's like, yeah, clothe yourself in these. Honestly, somebody of my skin tone doesn't really require them as much.
Let me find something to put the lad in.
I'm gonna go search for some loot. I'll scream if anything tries to kill me, okay? Dang, you did some work out here, Egg.
Not all of it was me.
Yeah, 2 of them are the ones that Goroth sent through the roof and the wall.
Okay, they dress up and they now look like a person with you guys can see it because it's been revealed to you, but to everyone else they would not see the brand on their forehead.
Good brimmed hat. That's what you need.
As you enter the dormitory, you're hit with a wave of what smells like must and various foods. As you enter, you notice a very disorienting sight as there are beds just sprawled everywhere without rhyme or reason.
Mm-hmm.
It
Food
looks
still
like
good?
this with a shared bunk. Food looks like it's actually been set out only for maybe an hour or so, actually.
Well, I suppose we've all worked up an appetite. Any coins at the card table to pick up?
They all seem to be made of wood. They're wood chips for...
Yeah, fair. I'll go check that last room well, and then we'll come back and get some food, yeah?
Yes.
Looks like pretty normal supplies in here. General construction, probably how they built the houses.
For a second there, I thought that was dice and not apples.
Dice.
A handful of kegs, so they could had some mead brewing, looks like. Some potatoes. It looks also see some farming tools over here, so likely they were planning on making their own crops in the region. This would have been respectable if they weren't trying to kill everyone.
And it does appear to be, in fact, largely construction supplies, food storage, quite a few kegs of or barrels of wine. It looks like possibly kegs of other types of alcohols too, like ales or beer.
Well, they set up a party here.
Might have to send our new friend here back here with some of the former bandits to pick up some of this stuff. Might be useful for town.
You okay with that, friend?
Yeah, I'd like to get this thing off my forehead though. They like you said, I think they might know where I am. I never thought about that till now.
Right. Oh, yeah, forgot about that. Well, let's see what we can do here.
Do you spend time looking around this area?
Like through the supplies or just the area?
Looking through the supplies.
I do, and I'm thinking specifically to see if there's more crystals in it anywhere.
You do not find any more of the crystals. If you want to roll either perception or insight, I'll let you do a closer inspection of things. Anyone can do the roll if you wish.
Those are the exact same roll for me.
Insight is for people, though. As a
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
In other editions, insight could be used for other things, so I was unaware.
Yeah. Well, it's considered a social skill. I mean, you can use it for whatever you want. You're the DM, but
Yeah, no, it's good to know that it is meant for people most likely,
Yeah.
or more.
people and creatures, I guess you could say.
Yeah, because insight is used for situation awareness as well. In I believe 5th edition does have it for like social situation, or not just social situations, but like
Cool.
if there is like trying to figure out what had happened in the past.
Anyways,
with a 17, you actually find quite a few valuables. And a 10, I'd say you still find some things you can use. Just odds and ends that may have value about between the two of you. 2,000 something gold.
okay, nice.
You can either put it in as trade good and sell it somewhere, or just mark it as gold. I know people like to do different things depending on situations. And looking around, Egg, you find a very interesting, looks like a belt with a dragon emblem on it.
Ooh.
Ooh, shiny. It takes the belt.
The belt has the same insignia that the cultists are all wearing, which I believe you would recognize as the holy symbol of Teneth.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I've been in this area for a little bit. I'm talking with somebody who literally had the mark put on them. I have a bunch of information around me. And I would like to know if I can use secrets to investigate the brand. Which would allow me to, which is a skill that I have that allows me to make an Arcana, History, Intelligence, or Religion check as a streetwise check.
Sure. What are you trying to learn from it, or try
Can
to
I
understand
dispel
from
it? Can I dispel it, and what does it do? In that order, actually. In that order.
As you haven't talked to anyone that has actually placed the thing, you only have a vague idea of why somebody would try to put a mark on somebody, and it is either for, and likely it is mostly for identifying each other, but you have the suspicion that it does in fact track the person as well. If it does anything to punish their disloyalty or anything like that, you don't have an idea, but there is a suspicion that there might be something built into it like that. As if you are capable of removing it yourself, you do not believe you can.
Oh, even with the 31? Rough.
Even
Can
with the 31.
I... What was that?
I
broke 30.
The 31, I said, the 31 would tell you that you yourself would not be able to remove it.
Got it. Can I obfuscate it? That is to say, not remove it, but render it inert. Either by overlaying my own mark on it or whatever else.
You probably could, but it would be difficult. Whoever put this mark on them was very experienced.
What's the downside if I fail? What are the risks?
You could permanently damage them.
I'm going to let him know this and ask what he wants to do, with the knowledge that will also reinforcing that there is a town nearby, and we could go there and see if any travelers come by who can have more skill at than I am. I'm not exactly specialized in that sort of thing.
They look around a little bit worried about the prospect of permanent damage, but at the same time, but if I go with you, wouldn't they know I went with you?
Maybe. Bugger if I know.
That's a risk for your people, isn't it?
Yep. You've dealt with bigger risks.
Well, they look and...
And if anything, they now know we are not a threat to take lightly, by ourselves, let alone with others.
Look, I'm half ready to recreate that little summoning ritual they had using the black crystals to see what pops out of it. If you're worried about if you're asking me about risk assessment, that's not a great plan. I am not the best at that.
Oh, okay. I don't want, my head to explode or nothing like that. So maybe we do find the people that are smart
All
goods.
right. Hopefully we can find the person who can do that without making your head explode before someone makes your head explode. And I pat him on the shoulder jovially as I walk off to the dining hall.
What?
I know I'm trying to find. Fine, I'll walk the long way, bored.
Yeah, it's finicky about moving through walls.
Yeah, you can't just pick up
There-
a piece.
There's a path. I know it's there.
This food before you is simple fare. Sausages, meats, jerkies, and bread. There is a large supply of fresh drinking water. Any inspection will show you that it is not contaminated in any way. So they were at least eating okay here before they were disposed of.
So, Goroth,
Yes?
what's your moral stance on demons? Are they evil or are they, like... What do you got?
I believe they are entities born in the hells, so normally they are encouraged to perform evil, but until one is appropriately summoned and met, it can't be entirely sure whether that teaching is actually took.
So with some bread and onions in my half in my mouth. So here's what I'm thinking. We split up one of those black crystals, make a little salt drawing like they had, but really small. And take some shards of that black crystal, put it where they had it, see what pops out. Can't shove anything more than an imp through there, so we can't be in that much danger. And at least let us know what kind of thing they were going for.
So in other words, you want to see what kind of creature they were summoning, though a weaker variety, so that if we are successful, we learn more about their plans while also dealing with something that, should it prove to be malicious, we can handle.
Mm-hmm. And if it turns out they were summoning snow fairies, then we know that too. Or if they were trying to contact something, then at least we'll have a contact that we can scrub out without having it, flare up. It's information gathering, right? That's 90% of everything we've done this entire time. Try to learn what the heck's going on, and well, I wasn't kidding about my self-survival plans. If this doesn't work, it'll be a story to write about. That's more important. Objections?
As much as I want to object with how things are currently and the fact that they didn't seem to leave any tomes lying around, that may be the only actual way to figure out what they were doing here other than the sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'd suggest we rest, regain our strength, and then attempt it, just in case even a smaller rendition of what they were trying to summon still turns out to be more dangerous than we intended.
Sounds good to me. Hey, Mayfly, if you want to hop out of here before that happens, you got until morning. Deal?
Oh, what? I thought I would just go with you.
Oh, sure. We're gonna stay here and try and summon something terrible, though.
Oh, I think I'll just stay here then. I
Okay.
don't...
If nothing else, you can hide out in one of the other buildings while we attempt the summoning, probably in the same one that they were.
That one's all stinky. We can do it in here. I guess this place doesn't smell much better, but whatever. Oh, and egg. Afterwards, after that, we can try to invert it, and we use the light crystals or whatever. But let's figure out what they were doing first. Yeah.
All right.
Hey, you are staring upon the northern lights right now. I mean to say the inside the building is on fire. There's a conflagration here right now.
Well, yeah.
That's what I was coming to check on, so this isn't going to be a building much longer.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, Goroth did throw somebody through a wall not too far off from the other side that Burl was supposed to break down to bring the building down on their heads, so it probably wasn't going to last that much longer anyway.
I did accidentally arcane a fire, so,
But to be sure, we shouldn't try to at least contain that before we go to sleep near it.
I am so tempted just to draw someone with like the biggest cat grin, just pushing everything off of like a profane table and it just bursting into flames.
Yes, 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 yes.
I mean, isn't that essentially how Vivian started the fire in the first place?
Yes, that's exactly how the fire started.
It's very good. That's how you should do
I
things.
draw some water from the well.
What's the roof made of?
The roof, the current roof,
Yeah.
probably wooden tiles.
Oh, okay. So it'll smolder for a good long while, but it probably won't spread as well. If it was thatch, then it would have already been half burned down, but it could spread easily.
Oh, if it was thatch, it would have been long gone. It would take a little bit to go, but then as soon as it hits the thatch layer, woof.
So, I'm going to attempt to draw water from the well and just kind of soak the ground around the building.
How long are you gonna take to do this? Just like take a few hours to go and attempt to waterproof the grass.
It'll take like 10 minutes.
Take it, yeah. Whatever
Oh.
time it takes, you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with how fast that egg is.
I don't know. It might take me a while to get the bucket out of the well right now. It's heavy.
I can also tense his floating disc to move stuff if we need it. So don't worry about the supplies, because we can bring some of the best stuff back.
Yeah, well, I'm mainly worried about it spreading to where we are.
Yeah, that's fair. We could set up some tents a little ways away from here. I mean, the forest isn't going to go up. It's early enough in the season that there's not a lot of tinder down. I just let it burn out.
I'm not worried. I don't really care about the building.
Mm-hmm. I only need 4 hours, so I can watch through most of the evening if someone wants to get up early.
Yeah, like I said, mostly I'm just wetting the ground around so it doesn't spread quite so easily.
Yeah.
I made sure that he's not prone anymore. I forgot that Nemo was prone.
It's just been rolling
Just
around.
rolling around at the speed of sound. So are you just waiting for morning, or are you just taking a rest?
We're gonna wait till morning.
Wait till morning at the very least.
Okay, I'm guessing you're taking rotations to make sure that this place doesn't burn anything else other than itself.
Mm-hmm.
Miraculously, there's the fire seems to actually burn out before it completely holes out the building. It's still standing. I would be very worried about the structural integrity of the building, but luckily it burned itself out.
I'm sure Vivian totally didn't just like throw bodies into that fire or anything.
They need to. They're already in it.
I was gonna say, if any of the bodies were still outside,
would,
just to make sure the place comes down, Goroth might grab one and throw it back through the wall.
Just put the bodies back inside the building.
No, that's actually unironically a good and appropriate idea, since that it would be a burial. That would be a cremation. That's unironically like a polite thing to do.
Yes, a cremation in profane fire.
For the cultists that worship the profane. Absolutely, unironically.
Okay, fair. I call this bed.
Nemo looks at you. I wouldn't sleep on those beds. Everyone shares them, and they're kind of gross.
Oh.
I don't use them.
We got our own. I'm gonna set up my hammock between the buildings.
I'm gonna
Set up
rest
my
with my
bedroll.
back against the well.
So, we're not taking extended rest at the moment.
If you
Sounds
wish
like
to,
it,
you can take an extended rest. That would clear your weakness.
Anyway, I wasn't sure if that was in the time frame of resting till morning or not.
It is, yeah. That always is. I mean, it's up to the DM if it doesn't apply. But yeah, a night's rest is always.
I would say it counts as extended rest.
Yeah.
Because you are resting till morning, or whenever you are rested.
Yay.
I need to prop up my tracking somehow. And like I'm looking around my desk and all I see is like the most jank possible solutions. Which are obviously the correct ones.
Yes.
And suddenly Egg has all the statuses.
I'm
Congrats.
very marked.
A marked man.
Hey. Good morning, I guess.
Good morning.
So, who wants to summon a demon?
Want is a very strong word, and willing is more appropriate.
Well, that dude didn't come back and kill us in our sleep, so I'd say we're doing pretty good. Good day's work and all that, you know?
Well, simply means that either he was genuine in his desires to leave that world behind, or was too concerned that if he botched it, he wouldn't survive the retaliation.
Nemo pokes his head through the door. Hello, is it safe?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's... Yeah.
Nemo exits the storehouse.
Alright. Let's do it over where those beds were, yeah? Should have thrown these in the fire too, huh?
Probably should have thrown the beds in the fire.
I don't know, they look greasy enough that they might have burned too well.
I'm gonna push them off to the side and then grab the some simple salt. And where theirs was, you know, from the looks of it, about square root of 2, I don't know. Theirs was about 10 feet across.
About
so
10 feet across.
each square is 5 foot. I'm gonna do mine about 3 feet across. So, a third of the size.
Okay.
I'm also going to take the time to amanuensis, which will make it a perfect copy. So there's no roll required for Arcana.
Okay.
It'll cost me 10 gold for the ritual to recreate the ritual, but I mean that's pocket change for for safety, for not screwing something like this up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll update that gold wise. So we need some of these flecked off. Any of you flint nappers?
Nemel raises their hand. I can cut gems.
Wait, you can?
Yeah. Sometimes I need to do it to enchant things. That's what they keep me around here for.
Oh, hell, should I ask you about that first. Can you make me some earrings later?
I'm not really a jeweler, but I can try.
Good. Anyways, we need this. I hand it. Take out the smallest one again with a napkin around it. Put it on the table. I don't want to touch it, but we just want some shavings. Here's how they were laid out and oriented, and the sizes. We're going down by 1/3, so we'll need them some flint-knapped chunks off of there to lay out.
Nemel takes out a few of his tools. Just they very preciously taken care of. It's just currently a sheet of leather and looks to be a horn nap as they fleck off about 6 pieces of the crystal for you. And I guess, do you want them to arrange it for you, or are you arranging it yourself?
He'd know more about arranging it than I would, so yeah.
Nemel then arranges it in the order as you've shown, and there seems to be some kind of energy coming off of the salt, and the stones start to float.
That's good. That's a good sign. See? It's a good sign.
I don't know what they do after this, though.
Nah. I'd back up if I were you.
Nemel backs up. As the salts start to actually just sizzle, blacken, then turn red as it melts into the wood of the floor. As suddenly the floor around the rings of the summoning circle vanish, and you see what looks to be the burning hells. With
Neat.
nothing.
Sorry.
Were we supposed to make a hell portal?
Oh, I mean, information gathering. Now we know what they were doing.
So in other words, they weren't trying to summon something. They were creating a portal. Does this mean that they were intending to head to the hells themselves?
I think I did tell them to go to hell.
That or whatever they were, the summons is bigger than that hole.
And waiting.
There appears to be nothing coming through the portal, though, as you wait.
I throw a pillow into the hole.
The pillow bursts into flames as it enters the hole, and
Really?
it was a very greasy pillow. It did not stand the heat of hell very well.
How about a plate?
The plate flies into the hole. You wait for about 10, 20, 30 seconds, and then you hear a very faint clattering noise.
Whew, long way down. Well, we can make one of these anytime we want. So, let's say we try and do the fun one now.
The fun one?
Yeah! Take this, invert it, use these light crystals we have.
Are you going to do something about the portal to hell you've created currently?
No.
Okay.
Wasn't planning on it.
I think we should close this somehow. Don't
I
want
would-
to have to deal with methods or whatever comes out of these.
Yes, I would also prefer not to find out if mephits and imps are an invasive species.
Nemel runs over to the portal, and with his foot kicks the edge of the portal and scrapes his foot against it as it turns back into salt and closes.
Well, if we need to head over to hell anytime, we got our path. I am already working over here on the next one.
I feel like now the next time someone tells Vivian to go to hell, she's just gonna go, "Joke's on you, I already know how to get there."
Mm-hmm.
Vivian pulls out some salt. Okay.
Bet. Do you need me to roll to see if I'm doing this correctly? Because this is untread territory. I can't
Go ahead,
racist
do a
my
roll.
way
Make
through
it
this one.
interesting.
I am gonna to drop the streetwise using the power that I have using secrets. If that's okay,
Okay.
since that can replace a religion or a carnival. That's still a 15. That is a 15 in my defense.
I would say you are able to replicate the same thing rather than invert it. So you do make an active circle, and I'm guessing you're placing crystals around it.
Yep. The light shards.
You put the light shards around it, and the same thing seems to happen. They spin around in a circle. The salt starts to sizzle and sputter, but then nothing happens.
Yeah, okay. Missing some sort of grounding or change in the glyph to get to the right place. But it's a proof of concept, and we proved a concept, hey? The ritual started to work with those stones. It just didn't find the location it was trying to connect to. We basically have baby's first gate spell here, don't we?
You have baby's first gate spell.
So now we know that they weren't simply doing a summoning, but trying to create an actual portal to the hells themselves.
This is
And
where
luckily-
closest babies go, apparently, into hell on accident. Baby's first spell.
And likely have already done it at least once.
I don't know if that botched ritual we found in the church and the easily discovered spy are any indication. Are we 100% sure this was what they were intending to do?
Someone had to have drawn that who knew what it was. Okay, that's not really bad example because I drew it not knowing what it was, but that's not my point. The point is that someone had to have known to draw that.
The leader guy comes around every so often. He never gives us his name, but he usually shows us what to do.
And then he
I
leaves
take-
before you do it?
What'd you say?
And then he leaves before you do it?
No, he usually just stays.
Oh.
I don't know why they open the hole to hell, but they do it every so often. Just I guess just to prove it works.
It's been a hell of it.
Well, let's head back.
Nemel looks at you leave like a lost puppy.
You coming?
Yes.
Alright, Tensor's floating disk. This is... I can't secrets of the city my way out of this one. That I know.
Oops, sorry, I accidentally grabbed somebody while they went. Soul actually went over my mouse right as I was grabbing Nemel.
23.
Non-intervention.
Okay, so I can hold somewhere between 500 and 1,000 pounds.
Nemel runs around grabbing things, possibly the personal belongings. Also, some other interesting things in a chest that looks to be overlooked earlier.
Hmm.
I usually, hang out here every so often. They leave me alone in here, and they let me organize things, and it's nice.
A pig weighs about 130 pounds. Just for reference.
Oh, what does?
A keg. I just googled
A
it.
keg? Okay. Are you bringing back a party?
I mean, I figure we bring back whatever looks valuable and might not be easily accessible in that town.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, when we're walking, we might disappear. If that happens, just
What?
keep on going to the town, and we'll meet you there.
Where's the town?
Right. So, I give him directions.
Oh, okay.
We'll walk together, but if we disappear, it happens once in a while. Adventurous stuff. You know how it goes.
No.
You'll figure it out.
Am I an adventurer now?
If you have to
Only
ask,
if
the
you-
answer's already yes.
I was going to say only if you want to be. It
No.
It is
That's
a
not how that
vocation.
works.
It is a choice, usually.
Yeah, well, here we are.
That is why usual.
And I guess you just travel to ever there?
Yep.
Actually, how fast do we need to go while we're traveling?
Well, last time you came here, you didn't seem to fast travel, and you got here within a day, full day's
Yeah.
trip.
And
Yeah,
I
I
do
was
believe
just-
that when we were with Grandma, she was with us the whole time.
I just wanted to check because I could if we were okay with moving at a slower pace, Goroth could drag 1,000 pounds worth of stuff,
Oh, yeah, I'll go with that.
and potentially more than that. I just don't know what the calculation is for the extra 5 points worth of strength that my muleback harness gives. Oh, wait, let me check. I found the calculation. I can check it out. He can drag 1,250 pounds. So yeah, he just grabs a couple ropes, sets up a pallet with that much weight worth of stuff and just drags it along as we come back.
And since you are taking this place apart, essentially, you found an additional item, and that item is the girdle of the oxen.
Sounds interesting.
Let me find what that does. When you bull rush a target, you push it one additional square.
Might keep and use that for later.
Hey, I got my humidifier working. It'll be less blindingly dry in here.
Got a what working?
Humidifier.
Oh, okay. I thought I just heard fire. I'm just like, how would that make it less dry?
Jade has a humidifier that makes less humans in their building.
Honestly, very useful. Do recommend.
Okay. You travel uneventfully to Ever there, dragging along your spoils. It takes you roughly a day or two. Let's just say it takes you 2 days. You set up camp, and you discuss a few things. Learn that Nemel was actually fairly young, around, say, in his 20s, and really didn't know what they were doing when they got into the cult. They were originally going to become an enchanter and a store owner, but this seemed more exciting.
Reasonable.
And on your second day, you make it back to Ever there.
Yeah, everything.
Okay, but it came in zoomed in, and it was all yellow and with ash marks. And I'm like, oh.
Oh no, Ever there burned down.
Well, there's a plot point.
I wonder if this map will eventually be updated with new buildings.
It will.
Yay!
Possibly, since since Goroth and Vivian just dragged back an entire warehouse worth of stuff.
I mean, I probably helped a little bit. I got my bag of holding for a bunch of this stuff.
Hey, Hawk, you buying today?
Oh yes. What do you have for me?
Come on outside. Got something to show you.
Hawk follows you outside. You just have to imagine he's out there.
Oh no, I was just whining about the model not moving well because video game. So, what do you reckon you can do with this? Or should we just get hand to the construction workers and give them a go at it?
Hawk looks at it. Well, alcohol always sells well here. If you wish for me to sell it for you, I could do that.
No, that's going over to the bar.
Oh, well, that works too. I would say let the workers do what they want with it. I already have my own stock.
Okay, well, if you need anything, you've helped us out, you're more than welcome to it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Next stop, the inn. I forget the barkeep's name. It says
Gorbash.
NPC when I... Gorash?
Gorbash, yeah.
Gorbash!
Oh,
Got a gift
yes,
for you.
hello!
Got a gift for you. Come on out for a sec.
Gorbash follows you outside.
I don't know why we keep following you in.
Me neither.
Sweet scales, that is a lot of alcohol.
4 kegs of the worst stuff you ever drank, probably.
Oh, this will be a new challenge.
Ha.
Drink the worst you can and you get some of the best.
All yours. You've been helping us out left and right. And make sure the patrons get their share on us, alright?
I will. Thank you, friend.
You've been more than helpful. Thank you. Goroth,
Gorbash.
you're gonna go grab the workers. That's more your field right now.
right, I'll take this over to them. And he would head over to where the former bandits, now workers, are, and just like, hey, I got some supplies while we were out.
You get a lot of yes bosses and a few cheers. A few questions of where you got this stuff.
Some cultists got on my bad side. They're not around anymore to use it.
You get some cheering. The cultists aren't very popular around here, as you could imagine.
They really got under his scales.
What time do we get back?
You got home. You got back around, I'd say midday on the second day of your travels.
I tell them to come by the bar at dusk, and I'll tell them the story.
They all agree, and Nemel actually heads to the inn.
Well, I saw you set up an enchanter's shop. That'd be good work for the builders, eh?
The builders nod. Especially with the new supplies they have, they could probably make something really nice. Had Nemel been around, they probably would have been very excited to hear the proposition of starting an enchanter shop.
I mean, I was just saying this aside to Goroth because it's going to be a Goroth decision, but we can play that out however we wish.
An enchanter's shop would probably be a good idea. Would definitely be something for the new addition to the town to do. And it would be something to potentially bring visitors.
And just so we're all in agreement, we're going over the mayor's head on this, right?
Oh, very much so. He can kiss the scaliest parts of my ass, as far as I'm concerned.
Excellent.
Almost tempted to tell his wife and see if she would keep it a secret too.
Go for it, all you. That sounds hilarious.
Maybe later.
Well, I guess I'm gonna see if any of my stuff came in. Unlikely. And there's a blacksmith here, right? I remember I think we discussed it at one point.
There is not really like, I think Hawk is the closest thing to the blacksmith they have right now.
Okay. I'm gonna try and have him make an earring setting for these things, just for, or make some, or if he doesn't feel up to that, make a very have him give me some very thin wire, just the thinnest wire he can get, and I can try to craft through it myself. Just a simple spiral setting. Those are piss easy to make.
Burl, as you approach Sonata and Dro, Dro is visibly upset about something.
Yeah, it's not like me.
And you catch, but you have to understand, they're still people. As he looks over to you. Oh, yes. Hello.
Am I interrupting something?
Oh, not much. It might actually be something you can look into. we have lost contact with one of our trade partners. A small town. They're not very large, and they're not, I guess, according to Dro, or according to Sonata here, important. But we have not heard from them for quite some time.
Sounds like it could be worth looking into. Gives us a new place to go. We have handled the cult.
Oh. I was unaware that they were truthfully a threat, but it is good that you are putting your best foot forward.
I say
Were
we
they-
handled them. Their boss is still out there somewhere.
That is interesting. Did they escape?
They were never there to begin with. They were a projection.
That's troubling. It must mean that, or it might mean, that they are more of a threat than we anticipated. They didn't seem very organized from all reports.
Goroth grumbles and quietly aside to Vivian. That's what he thought about the bandits, too.
I mean, yeah.
Anyway, if you pay a visit to me at Town Hall, I will be able to give you quite a large contribution for your help with this town.
Hmm. It would be much appreciated. We also brought back a potential enchanter.
Ah, wonderful. That is a service we can offer that scant many places have. At least out here. Is there any other news?
None that I can think of.
Well, if you wish to relax and have a few drinks, I've told... Well, I will tell Gorbash that the drinks are on me tonight.
I'm sure my party will be elated.
And I will see you later then. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
He leaves with a bit of a scowl on his face.
Bumping into Neville on the way, it seems. Very rude.
Drinks are on the mayor tonight, apparently.
And just like that, I've lost my appetite.
He also promised us a reward of gold for our efforts.
Of course he did.
And just like that, I've regained my appetite.
Nemel approaches and looks at you. Not to be a bother, but didn't you say that you had people that could help me?
Oh yeah, help chair.
Nemel pulls up a chair.
So, guy behind the bar, Gortash, good guy. We got some workers set up here that are going to build you a enchanter's shop, complete with a loft for that you can put a bed in. Those two at the other table, good beans. There's a couple of kobolds wandering around that you probably are gonna like. They're good people. They're good people. Probably one of them might even apprentice you if you work your cards right. The orc over in the corner, if you climb to his strength and jump to his IQ, you'll break your leg. Lady behind us is pretty nice. The guy who bumped into you on the way in was the mayor, and he sucks. That's pretty much the whole rundown of this place.
If you climb to his strength and jump to his IQ, you'd break your legs.
You like that one?
I like that
That's
one.
very
yeah.
good.
Nemel is actually like just looking at you with mouth agape, almost as if they've completely forgotten their situation. What? An enchanter shop?
Yeah.
For me?
You said you're an enchanter. You've already done work as an enchanter, indentured or otherwise.
Yes, about time you're able to make a living off of your own work, don't you think?
That's so much. Thank you.
I mean, we do expect you that you'll take care of our enchanting needs for us when we come in, but we'll make sure that you're compensated with materials.
Of course.
Actually, come to think of it, that kindly lady who wanted to open the baker's shop, she seemed to be pretty confident with magic, don't you believe? Maybe we could talk to her about the mark.
Heck, enchantments and biscuits sounds like a good shop to me.
If nothing else, a delicious pie alleviates worries.
True that.
That's actually a really good idea. I'm gonna have to make the enchanter shop and the bakery in one building now.
Yes.
She becomes her
Baubles and biscuits.
That is a great name. Nemel becomes grandma's apprentice and becomes both a baker and an enchanter.
Sells enchanted bread.
Nemel
so
becomes
perfect.
Nemel becomes the baker's apprentice, and the baker becomes the enchanter's apprentice.
Nah, grandma is just already good at magic too.
I'm pretty sure Grandma outclasses Nemel by quite a bit.
In both regards.
In both regards.
Well,
But
I don't know. Maybe Nemel will surprise you. Maybe Nemel is actually a better baker somehow.
that would be surprising and also amazing.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, the enchanted bread thing sounds like a really good way to bring people in. That's pretty unique.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can make lembas. Like that's actually a thing in the world.
Yeah, Goroth fed it to a whole bunch of bandits already.
Yeah, you can absolutely cook with good berries.
Good berry. Imagine lembas made with good berries.
I imagine good berries as being cloudberries.
Ooh.
Break up lembas to make like a porridge and put good berries in it.
I want to try cloudberries, but they're like impossible to get if you're not in the local area for cloudberries.
I have had cloudberries, and they are fantastic. I've had cloudberry jam.
Ooh.
I recommend. Legends and Limbus. Okay, that's cute too. Also, everyone should go read Legends and Lattes. Fantastic book.
Oh, absolutely. It's very, very good.
So, Burl, by any chance, did the mayor tell you where the help is actually required, or did that slip his mind?
He mentioned a nearby village that is in trouble. I don't know if I got a precise location, but we might be able to ask Sonata.
Yeah, that tracks.
We've earned a few days off. Right?
Hmm.
No reason to run out right away. We can kick back on the lake.
Suddenly
That
grabbed.
sounds-
Suddenly ungrabbed.
It sounds like a delightful idea.
Yes, might be good to have a chance to make sure that that our new friend is able to find a place for himself.
Could also direct someone to the previous cultist camp so that the rest of the supplies can be gathered.
I think we got the lion's share, to be honest.
If nothing else, I could suggest a couple of the hardier workers to make a quick trip there to double check, make sure that no one tries to move back in immediately.
Yeah, have them disassemble the working buildings and I don't know, borrow a cart from Hawk for some of the goods or something.
But yeah, Vivian was correct on that one. When you left, you took about like roughly more than half of the stuff in there.
Between Tensor's floating disc and Gorath's pull weight capacity, yeah.
Alrighty.
They're still probably useful tools and stuff, but like, yeah, you got most of it. Just was reading what Egg said, but I guess we can wait for a little bit while they are returning. How was everyone's day today while we are waiting?
It's been nice. Very quiet.
It's been good.
Been a day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm driving a tank, so it is well.
Yay.
Yes, you are. You are driving a tank. Honk bold.
And I don't mean to stall campaign by saying we stay in town a few days. We can fast forward through that. I just, in character wise, want to be, don't want to rush to the next event. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's fair. I think we played through some of it because there's the whole out dealing with the mark thing.
Mm-hmm. Shadow's Guild is such good music. Probably my favorite of the dark fantasy stuff.
Oh, Egg is back.
Yes.
Welcome.
Alright, so I think overall we have a decent plan. Take a couple of days to recuperate and... Well, I mean, you probably will. I may actually head out with the workers to check out those shacks a couple more times. Maybe even dismantle them to bring some lumber and nails back.
Fair enough.
And with me around, it will save on the need for a workhorse.
I'm gonna work with the
With
enchanter.
anyone else, I would call that a boast.
I'll work with the enchanter, get things set up with you. Introduce you to everyone you need to rub elbows with. Networking and all that. Wouldn't want you to, wink, fall in with a bad crowd now, would we?
That already happened once. Completely, like, whoosh with the sarcasm.
Uh-huh.
We only have, like, an ex-gangster, Vivian. I'm not sure how to describe her, but apart from shady.
What? I'm an acrobat. I'm like the most legit person here.
Your profession is not what's making you shady.
Okay, that's so fair, though. Just a little bit of a blood magic as a treat, you know?
Yeah. A little
Hard to have
caramel on
blood
top.
magic as a treat.
Do a little blood magic, have a little caramel.
Mm-hmm.
Good day.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's rendered.
And now if Vivian is ever feeling lazy, they can just open a portal to the hells, bring over a mephit, and say, hey, send this message for me.
I already have Animal Messenger.
I mean, it would be an imp. I think mephits are elemental.
I just want to see what this upper floor looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've never really slept in the inn.
Yeah, we have.
I mean, we
nights.
have, we just never moved our tokens to the upstairs.
That's true.
Oh, hello, sweet
Oh.
kings.
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
I am fine. The builders tell me my house will be done soon, but I have my house with me.
Oh. Well,
I was just enjoying some
suppose-
time in this inn.
Hmm.
It's always nice to get away from home once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there is something we kind of wanted to ask you about.
Oh?
Yes, we have a new, arrival. He fell in with a bad crowd and was inducted into a group of cultists who have marked him. We were hoping that with your, seeming magical skills that you might be able to, help us figure out what is going on with it and potentially help him out with it.
And baking skills.
Oh. I assume that the young gentleman behind you is, the one you speak of?
Yes. Goroth would, like, step to the side.
Nemel gets cold sweats looking at Brenda, and Brenda looks over at his forehead. Ooh, that is quite the mark on your head. It looks
Yeah.
to be of quite the worst god you could imagine.
He's not
and
a
then
bad
Egg falls
bean.
down the stairs. Thump, 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 thump.
Just, I saw that.
I was waiting for it to happen at the cultist camp and the well.
Oh.
Fall into the well.
Is that world?
Brenda looks at the mark. Do you mind if I touch you? Okay, says Nemel as she reaches out a finger, presses on his forehead, and immediately pulls back. That is unfortunate. This kind of mark, it's not easily undone. It is linked to his soul, you see. We could forcibly remove it, but that might damage his connection to the weave, and also harm parts of his soul.
Would simply concealing it from others be outside of the question?
It would be a stopgap, and it might be effective. But if there's any dark magics contained within that seal, then it could release itself, or it could build pressure, and, well, she just, makes a little pop gesture with her hand.
So in other words, for his safety, it is best left alone.
Yes, but it seems that this wax has eyes to some nefarious people. So it is a risk to take in either direction. We can try to remove it, or we can leave it be and see what happens.
Can you obfuscate it? Just sort of
Covering it would essentially cause evil pressures on his mind.
Oh no, it would turn him into the potential final boss.
It would turn him into the other cultist.
Well, in that case, I'll leave it up to you, Nemel. However you decide to approach it. It is your life and soul on the line, obviously.
Nemel looks over at Vivian, actually, and doesn't really seem to know what direction he wants to go.
I shrug.
I think I'd like to be free of it. Well, if you wish to be free of such a thing, it is a risky ritual. You won't die from it, but it could harm you in other ways.
We're also setting up an enchantment shop and maybe even a bakery if you'd like one.
I would love to share my breads with people.
Mm-hmm. Would you mind sharing a shop with this young, strapping lad? You can also watch over his recovery if you'd be so kind.
As long as he does not mind it, I will not mind it myself. He reminds me of a strapping young lad I used to know. As she looks at him and winks in a knowing way rather than a seductive way. And Nemel, looks around as if there is something that you don't know about him yet.
Viv gives him 2 thumbs up.
Oh no, it's his grandmother.
Grandma, what are you doing here?
Okay, that's amazing then.
I'll need to get an icon for this boy.
Oh, they deserve one.
He's earned it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, Goroth. Did you remember to tell your guys to murder that fellow on sight?
That slipped my mind. I'll definitely warn them.
I don't know why you guys don't trust the random madman that we set out upon the world.
Examine that sentence.
Listen, what's going to happen is you're going to forget about the cult plot. You're going to like get on some other epic adventure, and all of a sudden, you're just going to have like this mission complete, slay the cult.
Yes. Yes.
We have this quest log where it's counting how many cults are still left, and the number just keeps rising.
Wait, why would it
Falling.
keep
Falling.
falling?
The counter keeps rising to how many are dealt with.
Yeah, how many cults are done?
Then we just finish the quest, and suddenly, magic items fall on our head, going, "What the heck?"
You just see Krog show up over the horizon. I have finished farming.
Oh no! I finished.
Zork, zork.
Is that a reference to Anti-Mage? Because
Yeah.
it should be. Okay, good. Just making sure.
Amazing.
But Brenda looks to you, Vivian, and to Burl. Well, if we are to remove this curse, as I will call it, I will need your help.
Okay. Be glad to help. You wouldn't know anything about making earrings, though, would you? Can't imagine. It's never mind. I'm sure it's...
Brenda looks. Well, when I was younger, I was quite the artisan, but these old hands, they are not as nimble as they used to be.
I'm sure an enchanter could learn a lot from you. A young budding enchanter.
I'm
Oh,
sure
yes.
he can.
Since these are evil magics, would these help? And I pull out a crystal of the positive kind.
Brenda looks over to you, her eyes widen just a slight bit. Where did you get these, dear?
Kobolds!
Found him in a weird cave. We got the other kind too.
These crystals are quite rare.
Yep, we
I
got a
have
whole
30.
pallet of them.
I have 38 other pounds of them on me right this moment.
You are a very surprising bunch.
Want one?
I've only seen... Of course! I can put it in my baking.
Yep, sounds fantastic.
Well, I meant with Nimble. Would it help with Nimble?
I suppose it could help with the removal of that disgusting sigil. Sorry, dear. I'm just calling it what it is.
I open my backpack and open one of the inner pouches of it, just so this is visible, and say, "We also have the other kind, but only a couple."
She looks at them and just... I hope you do not touch them. They are, they're quite hazardous.
Oh, I'm not so
noticed.
foolhardy as to touch them.
I have noticed.
I won't judge you for carrying them, but you should keep them away from anything of the darker variety. You never know what they could do with them.
Yeah, we got them out of the hands of someone who was trying to use them. If that assuages any of your fears.
Then you have done the world a great deed.
I'd like to think so.
I forgot Grandma's name.
Brenda Baker.
I hand Nimble and Brenda like 3 pounds worth of the crystals to do with what they will.
Adding that to notes. Like 3 pounds both, or...
Total. I'm just kind of assuming that whenever I take these out to use them, I'm using up about a pound's worth.
Okie dokie. I have made that note.
We have we have the sunny side of a pallet in one of our rooms, though. I don't know which room is ours, quote unquote, but
I imagine they're probably building you a house somewhere without with probably not with the mayor's approval, but I don't think the mayor's going to care if you have a house in town.
the mayor can eat everything in this bag.
I mean, he's kind of a dick, but at least he does seem to actually kind of care.
Yeah.
Compared to his wife. Out of character.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sonata cares. Her plate's just really full.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
fair.
that's fair. She's basically the person that actually has to deal with all this crap.
She's basically the actual mayor, essentially. But Brenda tells you to meet her outside of the bar, or outside the tavern, in front of the fountain, come evening. Do you just pass time to wait?
Honestly, kinda.
Okay.
Like, in the interim, we'll, check our inferiors in order, check our, if we have any mail, do all the things that we normally do in town. Like, we won't just
I'll
waste
ask,
time, but...
Yeah,
I'll ask
Goroth
Drow-
will make plans to head off to... We'll make plans to head off to collect what's left in the old cultist compound with the workers tomorrow.
And I'll ask Drow wife for specific directions to that other town that was mentioned. Village. Just as a thing that happens while time passes.
It is a week to the west.
So we'll get there in a few days.
Or a day, depends on how important it is. As you meet up around the fountain, or actually, I'm just going to go through what everyone said. Goroth, you and a few of your guys, which I guess, yeah, they're your guys now. You make it there to the compound, and what are you doing?
I mean, I was planning to start that tomorrow because of how long it might take, because, I'm planning on having them not only just take what's left in the storeroom, but potentially break down the buildings that are still there for lumber.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Burl was doing anything. Sonata tells you that it is about a week's trip to the west. As you mentioned, probably a day or two for you guys. But the issue here is they just have no contact with them anymore. The last time they've contacted them was actually shortly after they met you. So it's been, to them, about a month's time with no contact, and it's starting to worry them. Worrying Dro more than it is worrying Sonata, of course. But as you gather around the fountain, there is a sparkling paste being used on Nemel's head. Brenda has seemingly taken one of the crystals, ground it up, and turned it into some kind of salve. As she inscribes a rune out of this paste, she also hands you the bowl, Vivian.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I need you to draw me a ring of this and inscribe whatever you feel like into it. Something that has meaning to you.
Meaning to me?
It's all it has to do is hold some kind of sentimental value to anyone.
Okay. I will put in the troop's name and logo.
That's not what I want to do. Draw tool. We'll just say it's... Why can I not draw? We'll just say it's around here, and it's Nemel walks into it. So, what we're going to be doing is a replacement. And she looks to you, Vivian. Because you are also tied, or actually, are you tied with the arcane as well?
Hmm?
Or have you reflavored your spells and stuff as something else?
I'm tied with the shadow. With some of the blood magic and shadow magic that I will be getting in the future.
So you do have some ties to magic then?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I just wanted to make sure.
My power still flag is arcane.
Okay. So what we're going to do is a replacement. It is safer than a straight-out removal. Which means we'll have the side effect of you, Vivian, knowing where Nemel is.
Okay, surrogacy. Makes sense.
I need you to place your hand on his shoulder and on his forehead.
I comply.
Brenda starts chanting in an unknown language. Her eyes start to glow blue as the circle around Nemel starts to glow the same hue. It lights up as you see runes start to etch on Nemel's forehead, and the same runes traveling down your arm to your heart. And I'm trying to think what... See, that I always want you to roll something, but I realize that's my job as DM to roll something. So now I'm thinking of what I should roll.
Well, no, you can have me roll a stat, or tell me what I would do. I mean, obviously you, the DM, can do what you want. What I would do is ask the player what they would roll for the situation.
Okay.
That's usually how I handle something like that.
Yeah, what would you roll for the situation? I'd say I personally would want you to roll charisma.
I mean, bet. Charisma roll without any skills.
Ooh.
Nat 20.
Oh, yeah, no, this goes off without a hitch.
Nat 20. I get bonuses. Let's go.
The runes recede from you and slowly ebb into his forehead as the image of the dragon is replaced with the image of your troop.
Okay.
Now, this is, again, only a temporary solution for this. We want to eventually completely remove this, as there is still probably some faint mark that if somebody knew what they were really doing, could probably still trace them. But as of now, even those people would not be able to find him unless they know what they're looking for.
Huh. Nice.
I'm just going to test a thing.
Okay.
No, it's...
Oh. Yeah, notes. Yeah, you can use notes, but apparently it pops up for everyone. Interesting.
Well, that one I specifically said share with everybody.
Oh, okay. And with that, Brenda leaves. Brenda leaves. I'm just going
Bye,
to drag her
Brenda.
to her room. I'm just going to drag her to her room.
Well,
Going to-
how does that feel?
Nemel rubs his forehead. Actually, a lot better. It feels like I'm a lot lighter now.
Well, maybe you got some of the power of the troop in you. It's an acrobatics troop, you know? So I can actually see you genuinely being lighter on your feet if you're inheriting any power from that mark. Or from me, that is.
Okay, I need to do a roll just because this would be funny if it actually lands.
That's a 95, my good friend. That is a
Then
95.
suddenly Nemel's eyes grow wide. Wait, you're Vivian.
Yeah. Nice to meet you. Again.
I'm like one of your biggest fans.
Well, I mean, we did just save your life, so I guess that tracks.
Okay, I guess I'm one of your I'm your biggest fan then.
Oh, I suppose you are. Well, I guess removing that mark is optional then, too.
Oh god, you have the best
An
autograph.
autograph,
Can you
yeah.
sign my forehead, please?
Can you sign my soul?
Can you sign my soul, please?
What? Hmm? Hmm.
So there's been two people that recognized you so far, and both of them landed really high, so they're fans of yours.
Amazing.
So, the difference is if I understand what I did, that my journal for this should now just show up in your journals. And you could just read them if you want to.
Every time you do it, it does pop up for some reason.
Well,
Popped up, but it's not in journals.
Yeah, every time you do it, it pops up where we can see it, but it doesn't stay in journals.
yeah.
Oh well.
Says I should have changed the ownership to Observer for everybody, but whatever. It's Foundry. It's not entirely understood yet. Part of
It's
this
Foundry. It is unknown. It's an unknown curse and spell. At this time, Gorbash actually exits the bar. Oh, Vivian, I have something important to show you.
Good to hear. By the way, have you met Neville here?
No. This town seems to be growing quite large, thanks to you and your compatriots.
This here's our new enchanter for the town.
An enchanter. Oh.
We'll probably be headed out in a few days, and I suppose that he can use one of our rooms while we're out. But they're building him a new building with an enchanting table and even a bakery for the old grandma staying upstairs in the new place now.
I don't know why you're building her a bakery. She brought hers with her.
It's more of a storefront. It's more of a place to put things than. It'll be fine.
Okay, fair.
I did not know she was that strong. What an amazing old woman she is.
Many talents she has.
Truly, truly.
Gorbat just imagining this old lady carrying her entire house on her back. Vivian, as I said, there's something quite important. He hands you a missing poster with your face on it.
Vivian, did you know you're missing?
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing I've been trying to tell y'all, right?
But how will you find you? And this is not Egg being sarcastic in the slightest.
Well, I mean, a lot of people go on journeys to find themselves, I suppose.
Egg looks sincerely worried.
Well, the concerning part is, there is a reward for finding you. And on the page, there is a reward for 5,000 gold for information of your whereabouts.
Oh.
But when I tried to, send in information, we never got word back from the messengers.
Yeah, that's that curse I showed you before, the other day when we were up here. Remember that?
Yes.
Anytime I'd write out the certain sets of words, it would be incomprehensible.
Quite. Very concerning.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more.
So in other words, even other people's attempts to relay any information about you gets affected as well, even if you're not the one who did it. That is very concerning.
Charming that they know that I'm missing, though. Actually, kind of proud that they put out 5 grand.
Well, you are seemingly their showstopper, so it makes sense they would be concerned, especially with how long we've seemed to have been doing this as far as everyone else is concerned.
Yep. It's not great.
I suppose the best we can do is just hope that someone ends up finding us here on their own. Or if someone were to actually physically go up to the capital to talk to your people.
Using pantomime, then? Being gibberish?
Nemel looks at you just completely confused right now. What curse?
Yeah, I spend the next 5 minutes breaking it down for him. The same way I did with Gortash before. And the Kobolds. With Gortash here to add in any notes that he has that are probably better for him to describe.
Gorbash mentions the nothing letters and his confusion. I'm gonna assume that he sees them and he's been trying to discern what the heck that the letters could have meant.
Mm-hmm.
And they could not find anything. Nemel here looks like you just kicked a puppy. Feels like he's gone. He just left. He just got out of the fire and now he's back in another one.
So basically, you, my dear Nemel, are one of the few people who knows where in the world Vivian Augur is. And that's why we were hoping you would stay here and not get too embroiled into whatever nonsense we've got going on, but, well, regardless of that, you have a life here that you can live. No matter what happens to us.
On the plus side, now that you two are linked the way you are, Vivian, you could easily use him being here as a easier way to guide to gauge where we are by telling which direction he's in.
Oh, hells, that's a good idea. Yeah, I like
Stick
that
a
idea.
compass back over there.
I have effectively given you a compass.
And his name is Neville.
His name is Nemel.
Neville.
Nemel.
It's like, okay, which way are we from town? Nemel is southeast, so
Nemel is southeast.
Triangulate his position.
Just every so often you get a weird update. Nemel is happy right now. What did Nemel
Oh
do?
no, I love this. Please do this. Only the positive ones, though. Like, I know you could, like, plot-wise, you could do the other way, but no.
Every so often, I just imagine, like, you're just in, like, this fight, life or death fight, and everyone's doing really poorly, and all of a sudden Nemel will get something right while running his shop, and you just get a little update. Nemel is doing his best, and then you're just like, if Nemel does his best, I can do my best.
Neville sees a squirrel on his windowsill. This fills him with determination.
This feels like
Yes.
this. I see a squirrel.
Amazing. best.
So we can play out the rest of the stuff you wanted to do, or we can wrap up because I do have more content. The problem is this is going. I don't want to be stopped midway through. This is why I wanted a shorter session, because I wanted to catch up, and then we do the meat and bones of more stuff next week.
I do like bones.
Bones.
Delicious bones. They make good broth.
But if you do, then we can see what you get from the compound. Start on the mystery of what happened to the other trade town. I know Burl keeps going into town hall.
I was just gonna try and get that money from him.
Oh, okay. They give each of you 1,000 gold.
Hype.
I've been reading the DMG as well on like rewards and stuff, and I realized that because I'm speed leveling you, I need to speed rewards you as well.
Also true. Some of us literally have unfilled slots in our equipment, which, like it or not, 4th edition does expect, balance-wise.
Yeah. The loot treadmill is not much of an exaggeration.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Inherent bonuses fixes most of it, but at the same time, yeah, 4th Ed does expect you to be getting fancy stuff because it also gives you cool powers and stuff. Just balance-wise.
But yes, Dro shuffles over to his vault, opens a door, shovels like fistfuls of gold into a sack, and just hands it over to Burl. You have my thanks. If I had known that I was going to have heroes show up at my door, I would have probably had more of an elaborate introduction for you.
Undoubtedly.
Still, the reward is appreciated.
If I didn't know any better, I think I should at some point deputize all of you. But that can wait for another time.
just going to quietly leave with the money
you kindly.
and deliver it back to everyone else.
And Gorbash goes back to his bar. Anyway, I am sorry to deliver this unfortunate news, but it is what it is. At least they are looking for you.
Yep. Well, you're doing what you can, I know that. We all are. So thanks. By the way, hosting a bit of a party tonight when at sundown, so that should be roundabout now. Go ahead and tap one of those kegs. We'll see if anything half decent is inside, and well, let's give him a story.
Gorbash goes inside, opens up one of the barrels of wine, and surprisingly, it is high quality wine. These cultists knew how to party.
Nice.
That or they stole for somebody.
Yeah, I all of the cultists were 10 feet tall, and the portal was spewing out demons. By the way, I weave a beautiful tale together.
Oh, one more interesting detail I forgot to mention. Very big detail, actually. As the mark was removed from Nemel's forehead, his body shifts into that of a dragonborn.
Oh,
Oh, sick. Important detail.
Very important detail. I forgot to mention that. Nemel actually does explain to you that quite a few of the cultists are dragonborn and kobolds, but that part of the thing that this mark specifically does is disguises you to be human.
Neat.
He doesn't know why exactly, but it does that.
that apply to the crazy one as well?
No, he thinks he was always just a big, scary human. Though it would be pretty bad if there was just an angry giant dragonborn going around killing all the... Well, no, actually, that's probably a good thing. That's probably a very good thing. Big angry dragonborn going around killing everyone who involved in the cult.
It'd be very funny
The
if
big
I'm
angry
right.
killing is the primary concern.
What would you say?
I was gonna say it would be very funny if I multi-classed into monk and just we are like everybody has a little bit of monk in them.
What are
Then
your
we have to-
classes?
then we have to
monk, monk,
bully.
monk, and monk.
Then we have to bully Burl into doing it too.
Vivian multi-classes into monk, and then it's just everyone looking at Burl. One of us. One of us.
So when are you you multi-classing monk? Not if, not are you? When?
Monk party. Everyone has flurry of bolos.
Honestly, based.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be very good for clearing minions. Anyhow, as you have the party, everyone that was here hears about it. There are a few faces missing that you would notice. Is your kobold friends, Kresh, Skyzy, and their orc friend seems to be missing from the party.
Come to think of it, I didn't see them in here earlier either.
No, I commented on it, but
Originally, I simply assumed that they may have been busy somewhere else, but it's strange not to see them at all during the day.
You had not seen them during the 2 days you were back in town, in fact. Or, no, it's only been 1 day. You haven't seen them all day in town.
We could ask Gorbash if he's seen them.
I mean, after the party, of course.
I want you to roll bluff, by the way.
Okay, but I can do this because I know the crowd. 20, non-natural. Non-natural.
Everyone, it's not a natural 20, but I'd say your bluff is good enough that everyone actually, you know, they take it with a grain of salt, but they do believe that you are in peril with the cultists.
They hear the story that they wanted to hear, right?
They heard the story they wanted to hear, they cheer you on. Everyone has good booze, good food, and a rousing story to you know, to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And as the night passes and the party winds down, everyone bids you farewell, heads to their rooms, heads to their homes. Skern stays behind. He finishes off what food he does and starts to actually clean the bar a bit, help around the place. As these two, they head home. And now you are in the bar by yourself with Skern, Gorbash, and Sonata. Oh, and Nemel, of course, who has nowhere else to go.
Hey, Gortash. Where's
Yes, my friend.
Where those kobolds went off to?
I believe they are currently investigating something. I believe it is relating to an issue with our trade partners, in fact.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to head out and I guess we're backing them up. From the sounds of it.
Well, I suppose. I hope nothing has gone awry. They only left a few days ago.
They're pretty robust. They'll be fine.
Oh, let us hope. If anything comes up, I'm sure they'll return safe and sound.
Mm-hmm.
They are the cautious types, after all.
I wouldn't worry too much about them.
Also, Goroth, what did you had your discussion with your guys, right?
Yeah, I had them prepped so that we could head out in the morning. Which I would, when I did that, I would have suggested getting 2 wagons, one pulled by horse, one that Goroth is going to pull himself. and a few of the hardier people that they can spare to head out tomorrow and collect what's left in the warehouses, as well as break down the buildings for any suitable lumber we could bring with us.
Awesome. In that case, we don't really have to go through that if you don't want to roleplay it, but if you wish to roleplay, we can go ahead and settle that, or we can just wrap it up and start from tomorrow after your break.
Sounds perfect.
Yeah, I feel like that would just be Goroth and the workers, possibly Egg alongside, but the most of the group wouldn't have any real reason to go along with, so we can just skip that and say it got done.
Yeah,
good with that.
go along is something to do.
Is anyone doing anything specific? So I can make notes and give the results of that after the end, or are you just relaxing in general?
I am going to make sure that I get those earrings, just because that's been something that Vivian is really excited for now, is a nice pair of magical earrings. I don't expect them to have any magical function, but I expect them to look dang good, and, you know, anybody who recognizes the material, if they're occultists, might be like, oh my gosh.
So fancy.
But no, that is an ironic goal for the goal, is to have these question mark protective, unquestion mark, the earrings that I have.
Okay, so I'm going to guess you'll be working with Demo with that then. I'm sure Hawk will lend you their forge.
Yeah, and honestly, just some simple wire, like, you know how a wire wrap earring is made. Yeah, those are easy as piss to make.
The only jewelry I've ever made was all wax loss, so I only know how to make wax loss and band.
I'll put a link in, and then I'll show it on stream as well.
Anyone else doing anything specific?
No, just relaxing to the max.
No, I don't have any specific plans.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. That'd be more Nemel doing gem cutting than anything, so that would be actually pretty easy to make.
That's what I was thinking. Like, I'm not asking for anything like, you know, ridiculous, you know, crafting wise. Like, it's just some, you know, some simple earrings that would be pretty and sparkly because of them, and clearly magical, that also make me feel good wearing them, because that's one of the effects that they have.
But anyway, thank you very much for coming along.
Yeah.
This was very good to at least get back into DMing. I didn't want to have too heavy of a load for my first time back after such a huge load of stuff. Getting back after, you know, the unfortunate disconnect I had.
This was a delight.
It was
You
fun.
were a delight.
Yeah.
Thank you. And you are also a delight and very beautiful.
Aww. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, friends.
You too.
I'm sleepy for some reason. It's not bedtime for another 4 hours.
Cheers, friends.